episode 2 of my Stressed Out Show podcast. And today's one is like trying to fit everything in when we have very little time in our lives. So it's that feeling where you're still doing everything right, but it still doesn't fit. You got a full-time job, a side business, training, family, and someone tells you you've got to network as well. And you think, when, with what hours, exactly. So today I'm talking to Andy Mccardle. He works for Royal Mail. He's building a business with Utility Warehouse, and somehow he's meant to show up at networking events and not look absolutely knackered. This one's for anybody who knows what they need to do but can't see where the time's supposed to come from. So, Andy, before we get into any of that, you work for Royal Mail, that's right, isn't it? It's sort of your main job, as it were. What is it that you do for Royal Mail?
Yeah, that's my full-time job, and essentially it's just the delivery side of things. So parcel, mails, the general day-to-day out in the across Edinburgh where I'm based.
Okay, but so obviously is that quite a full-time job? You know, it sort of takes up a lot of your time and energy, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's 5 days over 6, Monday to Saturday. It's classed as 37 hours a week, and it's early morning into majority of your afternoon. So yeah, it takes up a fair chunk of my week. Yeah.
So what made you to add something else to your life and get into Utility Warehouse? What was the decision making for that?
I think, to be honest, Liz, it wasn't anything that was planned. Introduced to Utility Warehouse on the customer side, first of all. And I was looking to switch energy supplier and found Utility Warehouse through a friend of mine, a friend of my partner. And we had a look. But at that time, we were on the income opportunity as well, where what we had seen benefit as a customer, we could share with other people. Much like you would recommend, your favorite restaurant, it was a way you could recommend these services and be paid for that. Importantly, we realized that we could do it from home, we could fit it in commitment. But the other thing we really sort of found was that income was coming at a time where we were starting to save for a deposit. Now, that was about 4 and a bit years ago for us, but the situation, I think, with buying a home's not got easier. And the affordability, saving up additional money towards a house deposit is difficult. As a family, it's very difficult. Even if you are both time, even if you're doing additional jobs, it's a very difficult thing to save up. And I mean, Edinburgh especially is probably one of the more expensive cities for doing so. So that was the motivation. That was the reason we thought, yeah, let's give this a try. It was very relaxed.
And so Utility Warehouse, sort of how long ago did you set that up or start?
So it was the end of 2021.
Okay, and you're still doing this now? It's not something you've had to drop as time has gone on?
No, not at all. So it's something that has became a bit of a way of life with me. And the motivation initially with the house savings, I achieved that within 14 months. But at that point, I started to move on with a new purpose with Utility Warehouse, a bit more of a long-term, but also a way of life that I was enjoying.
So at the time when you found it, I suppose not particularly stressful, because I believe you've sort of kind of managed to work yourself sort of away from this now, but the stress I'm talking about, not the work. When you were trying to get the Utility Warehouse business going alongside working for Royal Mail as well, what was happening with your time? Because I know that you have other things which will. So.
Yeah, it became quickly very difficult. Initially we spoke to people, friends, family, people closest to us, and to really start. I think when you start realizing that you then have to go speak to more people, You know, those initial close circle people you speak, that was great. But we very quickly realised that we have to get out and speak to more people, and you can only do that by using up your time. And, you know, I think networking was something I was introduced to as a good thing, a good way of meeting other business owners and sharing what you do and helping other people. But that comes with its own time and financial commitment as well, a lot of the time. And I think the hard part that was for me was, you know, the stress was that had family related goals. I wanted to do it not at the expense of having time away from them, you know, so you didn't want to be not seeing the family to try and build something for them. And it was the stressful part was, how do I fit it all in? You know, I've got these goals that I want that are great for the family, but how do I fit it all in?
So explain some of these goals that are the sort of the motivator of what you do.
So I think initially, you know, it was that just the income was for the house saving. That's the goal we had. But moving on, I think being the passive income that comes with Utility Warehouse was not something I was ever, an employment job such as Royal Mail. It's not something that's ever presented to you. Most people who are in an employment world, if they stop working, they stop getting paid or they move on to a lesser pay. It doesn't matter if you've been in that company for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So passive income, doing work in the past. And for me, that was something that gives you. I think business with Utility Warehouse means that you choose. It's a flexible structuring your calls. You can build it all within your time constraints. I could wake up and say, right, this is spend time with family. When am I going to go to the
Hi,
gym?
Andy.
You know, all these things. But at the moment, if you're in an employment job, I would imagine 99% of people have designated working hours, and they there and back, and therefore, you know, there's a lot of your time is not in your control. So for me, that having the ability to have time control with people was something that once I had
Andy, I'm just going to have to move because I keep losing you. I keep dropping you out. Hold on 1 second. Let's try and hear, see if that's any better. Andy, Houston, can you hear me? Hello? Well, while we try and get Andy back, Andy, I can't hear you. We've stopped altogether. I'll message Andy. Are you back? Andy, can you hear me?
I thought I do. Was it me that went?
Yes. That's all. This is a natural live show, so of course these things are going to happen. I've actually moved back into the base of my house to make sure that I'm here, but hopefully, yeah, I've had a message from Cordelia who says, Andy's internet. She wants to know what you're saying. So, okay, right, we're back. Yes, hurrah! I'm so sorry. You were saying it was about the goals, and it was absolutely brilliant. And I can't remember how far we got till we had the glitch. It's like doing the, it's like rocket launching into space, isn't it? Sometimes there's a problem. So, where should we get? Can you still hear me, Andy? Hello? Oh, this is fun.
I think it's
What is it?
Starting to come back now, Liz.
Oh, is it living in Scotland? Is that what does it? Oh, now everybody's going to hate me for saying that. It's far up north. What's the weather like? Is there like a storm raging?
I'm going to reconnect.
So, are we back? No? Yes? Oh, lost them all together. Well, everybody, so while we wait for hopefully Andy to come back, let's try and sort of cover some of the things that I hope he's going to be talking about and how we got over this. I mean, I know that he is an extremely busy and active person, and he does his. Oh, he's coming back. Hi, are you back? Oh no, I can't hear you. Sorry, I can't hear you. Your volume. Can you
Volume's up?
Yes. Are you back? Andy, have you got some connection?
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Sorry? No, I
Can you
can't
hear
hear
me?
you. I cannot. I can now.
Can you hear
I can now. Yes, yes. Yes. Can you hear me?
Good, good. Yes, all good.
Is it a storm raging in Scotland? Is that what it is? It suddenly cut you off? Because down here it's beautiful. I mean, I'm northwest England, so it's not that far away. But it's a beautiful day today.
No, it's a nice seems to be on this theme.
Sorry? Andy, you keep breaking up. I'm not sure. Oh, are you still there?
Yeah, it's cut off again. I'm kind of trying this on my phone.
That's okay. Well, you're here now. You're here now. So everybody, we can hopefully
Working
get
okay
back
now?
home. Sorry?
Is it working okay
What did
now?
you say? Yes, it is.
Right, good, good, good.
So we were talking about your
yes.
goals and your family, and I can't remember where I lost you. I know that you were talking, the things that were important. So let's go back to the stressed out moment, the one thing that really sort of made you feel like this maybe is a bit all too much. What would have been that moment?
I think for me was that I was trying to start to grow my business, and I realized I was starting to put a lot of time into like networking. At the time, I also started to do a lot of running training. I'd signed up for the Edinburgh Marathon. That was going to be first ever marathon 2024. So I realized I was committing a lot of time. And when I started this business, the idea was to start building things for family. And I got to a point where I realized at a crossroads where I didn't want to be giving up time with family to build, sacrifice time with family now just to try and get more time with them in the future, which was a very catch-22 situation. It was very difficult because I did have positive reasons for what I was trying to do. It's a way of trying to restructure my plans so that I continue to build something but not sacrifice important time with family.
Okay. So did you feel then, I guess, that, something might have to give? What was the sort of thought process at that time? And how did you sort of, get yourself out of that feeling as well? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who put themselves in this situation. We all do this, don't we? Well, not all of us. People sort of working, setting up a business, wanting to spend time with family, and then you're thinking, oh crikey, I can't do all of this. It's too overwhelming. And I think also you mentioned sort of trying to fit in the networking side as well, which takes you away from your family if you're doing the live networking. So what was it that you thought something's got to give here? What was your sort of moment there?
I think for me, it was realizing that I would spend a lot of evenings where so I would come home from work and have calls booked in. So it was almost like dinner would be rushed. I'd be rushing onto a conversation where I was probably not bringing my best self. And then I was maybe trying to do like a gym session or a run session in the evening as well, which was also probably not quality. And I think even amongst all that, I'd sometimes be sit outside the gym, trying to post content on social media. So I got to a point where I was starting to realize that everything I was doing was probably a little bit because I was trying to fit it all in. And I had to restructure things. I had to take ownership of my time and sit with myself and sort of plan a way that I could make this work, because ultimately my purpose for UW meant everything to me. So I wanted to make it work. So that allowed that sacrificing everything, but I did want
You're
to make
breaking
it
up
work.
slightly again. Yeah. And so what was it that how did you change your structure, if you like, to make all this work so that you could still do everything but not feel so overwhelmed? Sorry, Andy, did you hear me? Can you hear me? Andy, do we still have you? Are you still with us? Hello? Okay, so I know that we've got some technical issues going on today. I'm not sure if it's just Andy's network or environment around him. Oh, there, you're back.
I think I spent the weekend like what I could control. So I had a look at my sort of diary and my current schedules, and I realized things that I was doing with networking, especially, was, I'd be coming straight in from Royal Mail work, and immediately I'd have a 30 p.m. network call in. So I was immediately putting my stress. So what I realized, that was one thing that I could change, just take a bit more ownership of my time and plan that networking better. Maybe it's off with a lot more networking calls and networking events. Find groups that fit the schedule consistently so that I could build those relationships properly and not just attend events every 2-3 months, properly building relationships. The other thing was around fitness. So one of the things I'd had in my Royal Mail job later in the morning. So instead of starting at 6 in the morning, we start at 8 and then we finish later in the day. And this was causing a problem because my evenings felt a lot shorter. By the time I finished work, picked up the phone, got home, a network call, had dinner, everything just felt rushed. And there was a real lack of quality. So I think one thing I realized by starting Mail was I could go to the gym. So I think the overwhelming thing that I did here was I looked at what I could change instead of blaming other people and just accept that this was the situation I was presented with. But when I was willing to do that was because I really cared about what I was trying to build with family. So I do think when you actually take time to restructure, you do realize that you can make a lot of change. And what that allowed me to do, so in the morning now, I'll either go for a run or the gym. I'll then to work. And what it allows me is in the evening, late afternoon, evening, I've now blocked out a couple of hours where I'll sit with family, we'll have family dinner at the table. And then after that, it might be a network call, it might be a business appointment, it might just be going through social media, sending out messages. But it allows me to block those segments out, and I can consistently week on week. And it's actually made such a whole difference to me in terms of the quality the quality I can give family when I'm with them, and I think even the quality in the gym and fitness work, it was something that it's all seemed to be a better life balance than before I probably even had the business. So even when I was just working full time, I wasn't doing a lot of these things. But I think that purpose that UW has made me do a lot of positive changes. And for me, it's when you've got that drive and you've got that inner belief that what you're doing is for the right reasons, you will make those changes. Just to say as well, like, don't go to the gym. But I'm trying to become a better person, not just a business. I'm not just trying to grow income and that's it. I want to, for me, for family. So I think structuring all that stuff in with the right reason and belief behind it. It's been to realise that I can ascend. Importantly, you probably a real quality to take into my business after that. So it's just a happy way of living.
So with this whole shift, do you find as well that because you've managed to work out a way to improve how you construct your time, if you like, to fit everything in a better way, do you find you worry less as well? You worry less about what you're trying to achieve. It just sort of everything is
absolutely.
falling
I think realize that ownership that I was able. Sorry, yeah. So I think for me, the ownership that I was able to take, so to realize that I wasn't blaming people, I wasn't situation I was in, I wasn't blaming the weather or the government, any of these sort of things, to realize that I could sit and reflect and make change in my life. It gave me from, and that I don't need to worry about all these outside factors by taking a bit of time and realizing, having a look at my life, I was able to take a bit of control, and therefore I'm not worrying about that changing because it's created. I've created that, not booking in network calls. I think sometimes especially if you're just starting your business or you're really trying off the ground or you're in a challenging period, it'd be very easy to say, I need to say yes to everything.
What would your advice be to somebody?
Yes to everything.
Well, what would be your advice to somebody who's sort of fairly, in the early stages, or they're at a space where you've been, which is, I don't know where to go. I'm trying to do everything all at once here, or else my business is never going to grow. Because we all feel that sense of, as you've just said, you feel you should be posting all the time. You should be saying yes to all the networking events that come along, even though you've got precious little time in your day for everything else, especially if you're also continuing your full-time job alongside that. What would be your advice to somebody? How would you say, just take a step back, because they don't know anything else. We all think this is what we should be doing.
Yeah, I think definitely find a time for you. For me, it was one weekend. You can look at how your week currently looks. Find things every week consistently. So if you got, like for us, there was a couple of days a week we went to family member every week. So it was such, I wouldn't want to change that. I wasn't willing to not go and see dinners, expensive other things. Might be the odd thing that week on week they're going to be there. They're not going to be. So if you find that now and again or a couple of times a month that is round about the same time of that, don't go to it. Find one where you're able to attend consistently. Also, what I would do is find Go to different events, but find the one that fits into your life and has the right people in it for you, that you can then consistently build relationships with, and you'll enjoy like a task. You go into where you're energized going, you know, it makes you feel happy that you've went. It's a time, because your time ultimately is the most important thing. If it's business, it was for financial reasons, but the biggest motivator for me now is the important thing I think you need to value for yourself. So when you're looking at structuring times away from your business as well, you're saying, right, okay, I'm going to commit these times for my business, but I want to commit to me as well. That could be you go for a nice morning walk, whatever it is, doesn't matter time, and then build stuff around it. The problem I think a lot of us do is when we just go, right, I need to go to everything and everybody needs to know about my business. You need to do it with a bit of quality. You do it everywhere, and people will. So you need to have those things as well, whether that be, you know, fitness things, outdoor things, whatever it may be, music, you know, art, whatever your hobbies are, value in your life and build your business around that. What you'll find is you'll actually enjoy doing your business more, and there'll be a better quality to your business as a result. It's very easy to think initially, no, I need to put all the business stuff in and then see what I've got left for the rest of my life. But the business will suffer because you won't be happy. You won't have good energy for it.
I love that. And I think for me, because we met a while ago and we've had some great chats, and it was through networking as well. So I feel that and when we chat, we don't actually chat much about business. We actually chat about other things in life, which I think is so important, that you can meet people along the way, and it takes you out of your stress of business, and you meet people. Like I met you and a few of the other people that I've met, and it's been brilliant because it's not all about business. I often think networking can help you find, and I think this was kind of mentioned in my chat with Becky last time, is it's how you find your people. You know, when you're online a lot and doing these things, or you connect with people, you find that group of people that you can go back to and just have a chat about anything, you know, and they become sort of online friends, if that makes sense. You know, it's like in the olden days when we used to have pen friends and things like that. It's just like you're finding your group of people who actually end up supporting you hugely as well. You know, so, and I think that's an upside to the networking that people don't realize in the very beginning. I think I've gone to a networking event and I think, oh my goodness, I'm not enjoying this. I'm not getting anything out of it. But it's those networking events that I've met the people who are still very much part of my business building life today, because they're just so supportive. And, you know, you run something past them, they're like, yeah, no, that's great. And I'll do this chat with you like you've agreed to do with me. If I hadn't have met you sort of through the networking in the first place, we wouldn't be having this conversation now. And I'm really grateful for that. To me, that's a positive side. And I also love the fact that you've highlighted we all deserve our own time as well. And I think people setting up in business are like, oh no, I've got to, it's all about work. It's all about work. Everything's about work. And I don't think it should be. And as you're proving, Andy, to be fair. And when is your next marathon? You got one coming up? Bit of a delay. Andy, can you hear me? Andy, are you still with me? Hello. I know that Andy has found his way through this, and I hope for a lot of you out there who are really struggling to sort of, you know, it's like burning the candle at both ends, isn't it? You try hard to make your business work, cook the dinner for your family, spend time with them, do family things, and then have time for yourself. And it really is a very, very difficult balance sometimes. But I'm hoping that listening to Andy, that you'll realize it can be done. And it's just giving yourself some straight talking and sitting down and reaching out to the people that you've met who can just say, no, you don't need to do that, or try working this way instead. I think I'm going to have to call it here because I seem to have lost Andy. I did want him to talk about his own, the business he runs alongside. But I think with Andy, we'll do a take two as he's gone completely now. So thank you, everybody. For listening. Oh no, maybe he can come and say goodbye. Are you back?
I'm back. I think I should have done this on the phone. For some reason, the laptop's not as friendly on Restream as my phone looks like it's perfect now. So this is a learning curve if I'd ever use this platform again. I caught a little bit about what you were saying about networking, and one thing I really wanted to say, that's the biggest advice I've ever had with networking was when I first went into the room, a mixture of excitement because I was new into business and nerves because I'd never been networking. I was terrified. I didn't know anyone in the room, didn't know what to say. The biggest mistake I think I did make was not doing what you were just talking about before there, about building that relationship, making friends. I think people who will need your business and need your services will come more naturally, but it'll come from a genuine place. I think the mistake I made in my field was I spoke about the services. I spoke about what I could help with. And I was doing it from a good place, but ultimately, when you actually just get to know people, find ways that you can help them, just get to know them. You might share things, whether it be about running, it might be about, your favorite book, your favorite film, restaurants, family life, connecting with people. You will naturally then start to work with each other and refer each other about what you do anyway. But go in with that. Honestly, the weight that came off my shoulders when I stopped going into a room thinking, right, there's 20 people in here. I've spent £20. I've spent a couple of hours of my time. Let's see what I can get out of this over the next few days. Like, people have only just met you once. And again, it goes back to what I said before that hopefully was picked up, that I think if you pick the right networking events that can fit into your life and you're able to commit to them, because if people only see you turning up at an event every 3 months or 6 months or something, they're not properly getting a chance to know you. But if you're going and you're building that relationship over a period of time and people are learning more about you all the time, but importantly, it's also not eating into your personal life, it's not eating into your actual business activities. If you can go and enjoy that time that you're there and you're not there thinking, right, I better get a sale today, people will feel that. People will genuinely have a laugh with you. They'll get to know you. And the most amazing thing is the business will come. It will actually comes quicker and more often when you just relax into it. So that would be my biggest tip with networking. I don't know if I missed anything else, but I did want to get that out because I caught that bit.
Sorry, we're definitely live. The dog is now barking. No, I was just saying exactly that when I lost you, saying how important it is that, and I think, I don't know if you heard me say that, we met on an online networking event. Yeah. I'm really glad we did because, we do pick up and have these chats and we still believe that further down the line, you and I want to sort of collaborate and do some other things together, which I think is a fabulous idea. So I do think it's important. What I would like you to just talk about a little bit is, about your other business, not your Royal Mail, so that you can sort of tell people as well out there what it is, because it is United Warehouse. Utility
Warehouse. Yeah.
I've always got and utility, and there's United Water, and I always get them really
same letters. You're fine. No, I think I was going to say Royal Mail's got enough press now. They don't need me talking about that. And if you've had the news or any political stuff, there's a lot of bad news in there. But no, listen, for me, Utility Warehouse has been something where the chance to fit something in flexibly that genuinely gives. I mean, my big connection, I think, for people is the fact of being a parent. The ability to do something that. The thing for me with Royal Mail was I used to work a lot of hours on top of my full-time hours. So if you were saying to me, and I get this a lot, if I offer the opportunity to earn an extra income, people go, oh God, you want me to do something else? Like I've not got enough time. But it goes back to the whole planning of your time. Quite honestly, people spend a lot of time watching Netflix, scrolling on their phone. There's a lot of wasted time, and I still do that as well. We're all guilty of it from time to time, but I do it a lot less than I used to. I used to come home from full-time work. I used to put the Chase on, sit and watch the quiz. I still like the Chase now and again. I still watch it. But, I would just sit there and I would watch the football, and I was just on the couch and then went to bed and did it all over again the next day. And then, I'd work my day off. So there was another 8-9 hours, if you include travel, where I was physically tired, and I would do the same again, just TV on, just lying about. The other thing for me as well was because I wasn't very goal driven, I've realised that I think I was a bit lost. I did a post about this the other day about the fact that I think I was kind of drifting, and it was allowing me sometimes on the odd weekend here and there, I would just go out drinking, and I would end up feeling a bit regretful the next day. I would be lying hungover, not really spending time with family. Maybe I've let them down for a family day out. And I wasn't proud of that. The life I'm building now, I feel quite proud of, I think because it's gave me that purpose and the goal I've got in mind, I think away from everything that UW offers, it offers so much more on the income side of things. So what I really do, the bread and butter of what I do, is I help people review their energy costs, their broadband costs, their mobile SIM costs. We've got a unique way where we can bundle that all into one package, and you can have it on one direct debit, which is what a lot of people that I speak to are attracted by. It's easy to manage. You're reducing your admin by putting your bills all in one place. But importantly, you're saving money by doing so. So I enjoy doing that. But what I've really focused on the last sort of 18 months or so is the bigger thing for me has been the income. So strangely enough, by starting something extra, I work less. So I don't work my day off anymore. I don't work later in the afternoon. I used to do collections in Royal Mail. I used to work later into the afternoon. I don't do that. So believe it or not, by starting an extra job, I do less hours. I can sit at home and do a call for 30 minutes and go back to doing whatever I was doing with family after. And again, I can structure what time I do my call. So I won't do the call while I'm sitting at the dinner table. I'll structure it later in the evening. If someone, and this is important, just not for my business, this is for your business, Liz, and for anyone's watching. It's important to remember that if someone wants to use your services, they will, if they really want to use them, they will use them when you allow them to use it, when it suits you as well. Don't ever put yourself last. Because I think that's what I was doing wrong in the past. I was structuring my life to suit the business. I wasn't, I was coming home and not thinking, well, I need to sit and have dinner with family. I was like, oh, I need to get my business growing. So when suits you? Oh, 4:30. That's not good for me, but it was good for them. So I would just structure it. But realistically, most people, if I then said to them, oh, I'm going to sit down and have family dinner, could you do the call in a couple of hours? They would say yes. Or we would restructure for another time, you know what I mean? So value your time. But for me, Utility Warehouse, I think it offers a model where your time is at the very forefront. You're in complete control. There's no clock in, clock out hours. You can do it remotely. There is people who actually do this from another country. It is servicing UK customers, but for me, I've realised a real passion for helping people, and whether that's through savings on the bill, which I think is important for people just now, that having that peace of mind. I mean, industry just now is back on the rise with gas prices, and it scares people. And if I can genuinely help, just by doing a 15-20 minute call with people and having a look at an option, I really enjoy doing that. But I think the more sustainable thing for people is to look at the income and building a passive income that, when price rises are happening in the future, you feel a bit more in control because you've got something that you've built. It's not something where you're waiting on the company making decisions and unions fighting it out and stuff like that. It's something you've got, your actions and the structure you've built and the work that you've put in recent years that I'm starting to see the fruits for already. It's been down to me. So there's a power in that. There's a power in not blaming the government, the weather, the taxis, all these things. It's all challenges that we have to face. But see, having the power to think I can do something about this. I just need to do a bit more activity. I just need to, that's what I've really enjoyed. And I think for me, that my next stage in this business is sharing what I've learned with other people and seeing a bit of a ripple effect where other people have changed their life. They've personal development has came, the confidence has grown like me, they've restructured their time better, family life's better, their time is important, more traveling, whatever it may be. But I just want to play a part in that. I want to make a bigger impact in the world, and I think the income opportunity with UW is a fantastic way to do that.
Oh, Andy, this has been superb. I just loved our chat today. And any of you out there, I mean, please take a lot of this on board about what Andy was saying about, life and how important your own thing is, as well as, growing your business. And obviously, if you want to know any more about what's it called? You think I'd know
Utility warehouse. You'll get there. You'll get there.
I have United Water or whoever it is, do my water bills, competition. Get in touch with Andy. You'll find him in all the usual places. I'm assuming Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere. But I really enjoyed our chat, and I think probably further down the line we can come up with another topic, because I think you have got so experienced in how you're, moving on with your life as you work, that there's a lot to help people with out there. So I really appreciate it. It.
Thanks for having me on, Liz. I really enjoyed. I think there's a lot of connection.
The technical glitches, which when you look back at this, you'll see I'm busy bubbling, trying to fill in some gaps. It's quite funny, really.
Yeah, I thought it was you as well. I was looking at my screen and you had frozen, and I was moving fine. I'm going, oh, it's fine. But I think there's a problem with my restream on the laptop, because I think I got PTSD when I was flashing back to doing one of these before, and I'm sure it was the same thing. But it's the exact same internet connection, and it works absolutely fine on my phone. So I'll have a little bit of a dig into why the laptop seems to be causing issues, but it's all part of the fun.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to say goodbye to everybody who has been watching, enjoying the glitches, and we can get through these. And I'll see you guys all next time. And Andy, thank you so much. That's been fabulous. And I know we'll speak soon. So thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Liz. Bye.